Welcome everybody back to the Bag Brigade podcast, also known formerly as the Tiz Talk podcast. I know a lot of you guys are not happy with this name change. I don't know what to tell you, but this is what it is. I hope you like our new couch. We upgraded, okay? But I do have two special guests. Whoop, have you been on podcast with me before? Don't mind that sound right now. We'll get into that. Whoop, have you ever been on one of my podcasts with me?
Yeah.
But not a posted one. I think there was audio issues.
Maybe. There might have been. I've done two with you, Chuck.
Yeah. So Twix, Whoop was like, there was 5 of us when we started Bag Boys, and he was one of the top 5, like in 2020. So he's an OG. Dude, what? Like what?
Wow.
Okay. Anyways, and then I got another good homie of mine now, Twix on the line, and I'm gonna let him make. Dude, he sounds like he's talking. I can't believe that's a dog. Like I can't believe that's a dog doing that. It sounds like a human being talking.
It literally pretty much is, bro.
Okay, all right. So Twix, introduce yourself
All right.
real quick. Why don't you tell the whole Bag Brigade like how you got here? How did you find me? How did you find the group?
Oh, how'd I find the fucking bag?
I'm pretty sure it was off of Reddit from what you told me.
Yeah, bro. It was like, when did it? Do you remember what month I joined?
It had to have been in like sometime in June or like late May.
Yeah, sometime in June, bro. At like 12 in the morning, I'm like
Well, I don't
scrolling
know
through
what
Reddit,
time it was. I just
and
remember like you guys kept saying, "I'm
was
so
late, bro.
cooked. I'm so cooked." Blah blah blah.
Bro. Yeah, bro. But I was just like scrolling on Reddit one night and fucking literally just like what the Reddit post was up for like 30 minutes.
I don't know how long, but they kicked me off of it. All I was doing was posting spy expected moves. That's it. I wasn't like promoting anything. I
Yeah.
was very. I gave Wall Street Bets a mouthful for that.
I can run for its money, yeah. But I literally just joined.
Yeah, I know. You
to
just
that
joined, and then
fucking
like,
temporary.
it was so funny. You were paying for premium, and then like I remember looking at because I monitor like the payments and stuff, and I was like, did I ever charge you? You're like, well, yeah, but my credit card like declined.
Yeah, my card just kept. My
And
card
I was
just
like,
declined.
bro, you know what? Don't even worry about it. You're good. Like you're
Chuck the
VIP.
G saved me. Yeah, very nice.
But anyways,
Bro, Roger.
so no, straight up. And tis Bag Brigade fam. I don't know what you think about the do, but welcome to it. This is so I gotta ask a question. Whoop, what do you think about the changes that I've made over the past 6 months from Bag Boys to Bag Brigade and what we're doing now?
I feel like it's a different community.
Well, of course it is. There's paying
It's
people.
definitely grown.
It's not so close, like knitted. Like there's a lot of people you don't know. Like I get that, of course.
There's the tools that you've added, like that algorithm.
The algorithm. Okay, so you like
Yeah,
that.
I really like that. I joined that for a little bit, but it's really hard as like a young man.
Well, you're not very active though these days. You haven't been. I mean, you're sort of there, but you're kind of not. So it's okay. It's all good. The whole point of this show, and I have no idea what I'm going to name this episode, is I wanted the perspective of y'all's people your age on, what you think of this market environment and what are the biggest challenges that you faced, and then what are some of the things that have helped you, That's what I want to know. And now, Whoop, I know this is a little different for you because you've been riding with me since day one, but Twix hasn't. But y'all are very similar in age, so I just thought this would be a good. I just thought this would be a good thing to do, and plus, I really wanted to run a podcast. You know,
Well, I met you around when I first
20,
started day trading.
2020 in October of 2020 is when we met. It's almost been
So
4 years.
so from the day that I met you till now, you've technically seen me get to the point where I am right now, but you've
Yeah.
also seen all the stuff that I've learned, the money I've lost, the money I've made, and you've seen the lessons I've learned on like risk management, and that's like the biggest thing I seem to like have found myself messing up, and I still mess up and I still learn about.
But you've actually taken a step back as of recently. I haven't seen you trading that much.
I mean,
There's nothing wrong with that. I encourage that. I think everybody should take a break.
look,
But you
there's a
do
point,
get aggressive and you're like, I gotta play for us. I know it's gonna happen. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I'm
and
listening.
well, look at the couple times that I've said something like that. I know what I would be saying during the.
Dude, you're
I
dumb.
remember. You know what my most memorable trade is that I wish I had played along with you with.
What?
It was the Tesla call. The Tesla, and I
Oh,
wish
the
I'd
one that
played.
you put me on where I made like that crazy amount.
Yeah,
So
that
okay,
Tesla call.
let me shed a little light. Let me shed a little light. October of 2021. It was actually like it wasn't my so their earnings were like the day before my birthday. So it was October 20th and my birthday is October 21st. Whoop over here goes, this is what you should buy. And I mean, I'm not one to listen to like a 15-year-old kid at the time, but when I looked at the option chain, this is when this is when Tesla was trading at like $750, $800 a share. I don't even know. But I bought but I bought the 100 or the $1,000 strike 4 weeks out from expiration for $450. And I bought one, just one. And the earnings report came out and like it didn't really do good in after hours, but the next day it fucking skyrocketed to 1,200. And that contract, the one that I bought, was worth what I paid at $450 for it. 450. I sold it for 9,500 the next day, and I still had a month left because I only had one contract. I didn't know what to do. Had I had two, I would have sold one and let the other one ride. But since that day, I've never bought less than one contract, or I've always bought more than one contract, at least two, for that reason purposely. Because that contract, actually, if I had held it all the way till its peak, I could have turned $450 into $32,000. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. So Whoop, you definitely that was, and I gave you all the credit for it. I was like, no, because Drank tried to step in and say something. I said, no, 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 no. That was Whoop. Whoop is the one who put me on that. Where did you find that, and why did you think that was a good idea? I don't know, but when I saw it for the price, I had to do it. So, anyways, not to get too off topic or anything, but like,
No, but you've had some really good calls over the
well,
years.
I lost $50,000 my first year trading options. 50, 50.
I lost 80.
Yeah, that was your Snapchat play. I remember that one.
That was a very depressing
Well, you
time.
lost $80. You
80,
lost $80 or 80K
80,000. He did, not
at
me.
15.
Well, we don't need to.
No, I was
We don't.
I
We
was
don't need.
16.
whatever, you were 16, okay?
How did you get it? What?
Dude, I don't know. I told him he was stupid for
Um,
doing this
um,
anyway. I was like, "Don't
I
play that."
was I was the top sirloin trader at the time.
No, you weren't the top sirloin trader. You
And
were fucking
and
king of
and
Nothing
Chuck
Mountain.
wouldn't
That's right.
admit
No,
this,
you were
but
king of
I was
Nothing
making
Mountain
more
is
than
what you
him
were.
every
You were
month.
yeah,
king. No, you were
Every
king.
day.
You were king of Nothing Mountain.
Bro,
You were king of Nothing Mountain. That's what you were.
I was raking in a shitload of money every month, bro. Every month it was,
You weren't.
but I wasn't doing regular trading.
Okay. All right. All right.
it was gambling.
It is, guys. It's all gambling. All of it. It's all
What do you think
gambling.
of what do you think of casino gambling?
I am a
Like
degenerate. I'm a
tickets?
degen. I'm a degenerate. I love going to the casinos, but I don't do it because why would I when I have a casino in front of me Monday through Friday?
Blackjack and
I love blackjack and I love craps. I'm a big craps guy and I play a little roulette and poker.
Blinko.
Poker, yeah. Well, Plinko, I've never really played it like for money or whatever, but isn't that like in Plinko like on like stake.com, like all that shit, like
Yeah, that's like what most people play it on. The money grab website.
that's just like, dude, if you're putting money into that program, bro, like just flush dollars down the drain. It's a scam.
Would you rather put money in the stake.com or the stock market? Which one? Pick your poison.
The
You know.
stock market, the stock market, 100% because there's way more opportunities and strategies to make money. But playing Planko, watching a fucking thing go, like that's not a strategy. There's no hole you can drop it in that's gonna make it go a certain direction. It's just gonna go.
Roger.
Right? Anyways,
Yeah, pure gamble.
so
What do you
what?
what do you what
Go
do you
ahead.
think of like the statistic
Of
that
what?
says like wait, you ever hear the statistic like 90 to like 99% of traders are unprofitable? How true do you think that is?
I would say 90% are, as far as retail goes, 90% lose money for sure.
90, so you agree?
Yes, I do 100% agree with that. But
Yeah.
because there's
but
little
but
kids like you who
but it
they know how to manage money.
no. It all depends on
There's
how
they just
long you've
throw it in
been
like it's
doing
like a
it. Like if you're brand new and you're like, oh, GameStop, and you lose money, then I'm just saying, like, if you understand, look, the market is manipulated, dude. Like it doesn't matter what anybody says; it's a manipulated market. But the thing is, you can capitalize on it. You can make money off it if you know what you're doing. Like if you have not a simple idea, but like if you have a general idea of how to, you know, play the intraday or even the multi-day actions of the manipulation that occurs every day, then you can make money in this. I wouldn't quit my job to do it. Let's put it that way. Not yet. Like, especially guys like your age, like no way. But there is a strategy to it. It's not like the casino where you're going to a roulette table and you're saying black, red, odd, even. Like no, there are strategies to this. I've shown you guys this. I spent a whole day like on a private call with you and Slicks and Vabe or whatever. Like, oh my god, like that was a long day.
slick.
No, Slicks, dude. Poor Slicks, dude. What the fuck? Shout out Slicks.
He's is he still trading?
I don't know. I don't charge him anything. I'm just like, dude, you can have
Fuck.
VIP for a while. I don't care.
We should have got Lando on here, dude.
I tried to tell you to.
Landon.
You're like, oh no, he quit. I'm like, well, I'd like to have him on so I can ask him why he quit.
Maybe we can get him on next episode and see what he says.
Whatever. It's fine. But the whole point of this episode is because look, bad brigade, bam. whatever, his talk, man, whatever. I got two 18-year-olds, or almost 18, who have been involved in the trading world. I'm 37.
We'll
I'm
say we're 18.
pretty sure I've told you guys all that. So I want to. I just want to
Oh
understand.
man, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm old as shit, dude. But I don't. I don't look 37, and I don't act 37. That's goddamn sure. What are you laughing at?
Fuck.
No, I'm serious. Like, what the fuck are you laughing at? No, keep it up, man. Keep it up. All right. All right. So what I want, we don't have to make this very long, but what? Wait, what? Dude, his dog is sounding like like a banshee or something. It's like the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life. It
Dude,
sounds like a banshee.
Roger, he literally just grabbed my arm. He's like fighting back.
Give him a
Well,
bone. Give him a bone so he'll shut up. See, that's how you fix
bro,
things.
he has no bones. He eats them all.
Oh my god! All right, so
Chuck, he ate all his bones. That's the issue.
all right, well, it's fine. He's part of the crew. So let me ask you guys something. And Whoop, for as long as I've known you, obviously, I haven't known Twix nearly as long. I met Twix, like I said, like a few months back. But what's been, and I know you don't trade nearly as much, Whoop, anymore. I know you don't. But what's been your biggest challenge? And what's been, well, first of all, what's been your biggest challenge in trading at your age over the past 4 years, whatever? Like what's been your big dude? What the fuck? All right, go ahead. Like what's just like been your biggest challenge? Because you're an options trader. I've been trying to get you on to futures, but it's a little bit more different. But
futures is very expensive.
huh?
Futures,
Futures are expensive because of the collateral you have to put up. But guess what? There's no time decay like options. So you could be wrong
yeah, but
and hold it.
you kind of have to be right. Otherwise,
That's
either it
not
could be
true.
a
You can
flat.
play the micros like the MES or the MNQ, and you can be fine. It's just when you're playing the NQ or the ES or anything that's like $30,000 in margin requirement. Yeah, for one contract, that's pretty gnarly. But the MNQs are like 3,000, or like, you know, MES is probably like 1,500. What I'm getting at is what's been your biggest challenge trading options basically since you started trading options during COVID?
I feel like my biggest problem is knowing whether or not I got an option contract for a good price, and also learning
You mean like
when
the
I'm being
premium,
greedy.
like the premium price of the contract?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's always best to get like the best deal on those, but there's also something you have to remember. It's like sometimes options are priced very cheaply because the chances of them hitting are very low. So you have to kind of like balance that out a little bit. Are you still playing spreads, credit spreads, debit spreads? Like, are you doing that? Because I always tell you that's stupid. Don't do it, but you don't listen to me.
Uh, I was doing it for a little bit, and then I took my break. What I'm doing right now is just, I just have it all invested into my long term, and I've just been working on my retirement.
Thank you for saying that. Everybody should have a long term. I've been building mine since I was 14 years old, and it's my nest egg when I retire. Boom. Like, always have a long term.
14, damn.
Well, yeah. I mean, I did.
People forget. People forget how important it really is.
Sorry, what was that, Lou?
People forget how important it is to
It's super
build
important. It's super
portfolio.
important because think about it. If you've done it for long enough and you have your long, you're bullish on all these things that you've been buying over years. Okay, so what when it dips 6% like the Nasdaq did like almost 2 weeks ago, that was a great buy the dip opportunity. Did I do it? No, I didn't. I just sold.
I threw like $1,000 on
Yeah,
that on the
I should have, but I sold my TLT calls and my KRE puts, and I think my TLT calls went up like 3,000%. It was wild. And KRE was like 1,400. I mean, I didn't know that was going to happen. But I'll tell you this, I know y'all have heard me talk about the Japanese yen, watch the yen, watch the yen, watch the yen, watch the yen. And everybody was like, dude, what the fuck does the yen have to do with anything? And then guess what happened? That Monday
well,
morning.
that's when
Yeah.
people
Well,
get
I'll
crazy.
shout out to I Can Smell You because he's the one who was giving me so much grief. He goes, "What does the yen have to do with anything?" And I'm like, I go, I have been preaching the yen for such a long time. I'm like, if you don't get it, if you do not understand why the yen is so important, then you need to reevaluate your um you need to reevaluate the way you think about the market. And he's like, no, it doesn't make any sense. Why would it affect this? I'm like, bro, I don't even know how to type this to you, but I watched the yen like a hawk. And when I saw the yen do what it did the week prior, that was when I loaded up on TLT. Carry puts. And bro, the market dropped the most in one day since COVID because
What was it that you saw?
because the Bank of Japan, like a few days prior, they raised their interest rates from 0 to 0.25. But that's the first time the Bank of Japan or Japan itself has risen any interest rates in 30 years. While we're all beginning to supposedly cut, they're raising, but like by the most minuscule amount, 0.25%. Caused a 6% drop in the Nasdaq the next day.
Well, also look at what bankers and companies are doing.
Do
They're
you
going
not
over to
understand what really happened that day? Do you understand what happened? Do y'all fully understand exactly what happened with the Japanese yen carry trade? Do y'all
well,
understand why that happened and what happened?
yeah,
Twix says
they were
no, but
taking out loans from
who's they?
Japanese.
Who's they? Well, I'm asking you.
And I just know there were huge amounts of loans taken from the Japanese yen, and
Who's taking the loan?
that money was converted over to U.S. dollar, and
You're on the right path. Can I
but
break
the
it down for you
specifics
real
on who it
quick?
was, it might have been investment banker, might
Dude,
have been
I
big
swear to God, your
corporations.
dog sounds like a whining, like little baby. Like I feel like there's a baby in the room.
Dude, he's he's like I
It's
want
the
him to go and
craziest
shit.
shit I've heard. All right, so here I'll break it down for you real easily. This is exactly what happened, and this is why it's so concerning, and this is why I always brought it up. Okay, dude, is he? It sounds like is he like a parrot? Like he's talking. What's he? What is it? What is he saying? What is?
He's saying like, okay, he wants me to pet him.
Bro,
I
I've
gotta pet him,
never,
he'll bite me.
I've,
Okay,
I've never heard
Roger,
anything
don't
like
bite.
this in my life
So he just
ever.
wants to bite me.
Okay, Roger, go outside.
He's sucking on my thumb.
Let me break this
What?
down for you guys real quick.
Come on, Roger.
The
I'll be back in
Japanese. Okay. Well, no, you're gonna want to hear this. I can't. I can't. I have to wait till you get back. I can't explain it when you're not here. But do you understand it fully? Really, what
I just
happened?
don't know who was taking. I don't
It
know
doesn't
exactly who
matter
was
who is
taking.
taking it. Do you understand why? why the market reacted the way it did.
Yeah,
Why?
because there was this huge shift in interest rates where people were taking
No,
out
it
interest.
really wasn't a huge shift. It was a 0.25 increase. That's it.
Well, I mean, they could see that as, oh, more to come. Because
Well, yeah, that's true. They could see that as more to come, but
does
that's
the inversion of the two have anything to do with it?
the inversion of what?
The inversion on how the U.S. is cutting and Japan one is increasing.
Well,
Does that have anything to do with it? Could that mean one's
so first of all, the U.S. has not cut yet. One, okay. Two, it was the first time in 30 years that the Japanese have actually interest rates, but they only raise it by 0.25. Dude, we've been raising. When we started raising, we were doing like 75 basis points. So like we were raising heavy. The Japanese, okay, so Japan has the fourth largest economy in the world. Period. Hands down. There's no question about that. They've been in a very stagnant economic situation for the past 30 years. Basically, they have had zero interest rates for 30 years. They were thriving in the 80s and like some of the 90s, and then they call it like the lost decade, but they should be calling it like the lost 3 decades, basically. And what happens is since the US dollar is so much more juiced and higher in value, well, because of our interest rates are 5%, a lot of big money. When I say big money, I'm talking institutional, I'm talking hedge funds, I'm talking big boys. What they do is they buy, instead of US dollars, they buy bonds on the yen. Never heard anything like that.
you
And
like
so
bonds of the yen?
yeah, so what they're doing is instead of buying the US dollar for their investments, they're buying, because US dollar, dude, we're at a 5% interest rate on our dollar. Japanese yen is at 0. So for years, investors, hedge funds, they've been piling in to buying Japanese bonds or just the yen in general because it's so stable. Well, when the Japanese government decided to raise 0.25, you have to do the math. Now, I don't know the math off the top of my head, but when you have trillions of dollars at 0 interest rates and all of a sudden it goes up 0.25, you're actually at a loss. And that's why people freaked out. The big institutions started selling. It was a panic because they were buying something at 0 for 30 years, and all of a sudden,
Why would they want to get 0%?
they've been at 0% for 30 years.
Oh no, were they taking out loans or were
No,
they?
because it's okay. If you wanted to go invest in the US dollar at 5% interest, that's not good. That's not going to help you. But if you can go find a currency that's trading at 0% interest, the yen, for 30 years, that's what they were doing. They were basically getting yens and then taking the yen and then investing it into other things. But when they raised it 0.25, which is the very small amount, when you have trillions of dollars and something goes up 0.25%, it actually starts to put you at a loss. And so they freak the fuck out. The hedge funds, the big boys. That's what happened. That's only on 0.25%. Do you think that's where they're going to end? No. I think that they have another 0.25 to 0.5 coming. And honestly, I think the market's about to see a big flush there again. Here we go. I hope y'all are ready. So, anyways, that's how the Japanese carry trade is. To the best of my ability, I can explain it. And guess what? They're not done. So if they imagine if they do a 0.5 in the next 2 weeks, guess what's going to happen? we're gonna flush.
Ah,
We're gonna flush. And fucking Whoops over here saying buy calls, buy calls. You actually would have been right because it did rally after that dip. But if y'all want to see something interesting, I'll pull my screen up real quick. We are about to flush hard from a technical standpoint. Promise you. I'm very confident on that. Let's see. So that's
too much money on the sidelines.
right. So
I feel like
y'all see my
they're
screen?
just
Can y'all see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is SPY on the daily with the moving averages and the volume. You see this right here, and okay, so it's at like this very crucial level. When you see something move up like this with gaps, I mean, like from a technical standpoint, okay, let me ask you guys a question. What is the catalyst to push our market any higher right now?
the 7% drop.
No, I'm asking you, what in the world is the catalyst to push the market higher?
Kamala Harris.
No,
That's my answer.
that's not it. No, that's not it at all.
Okay.
I'm asking though, do you know, like the only thing I can think of is Nvidia's earnings are next week, and if Nvidia blows it out of the water again, maybe it pushes us up. But if it doesn't, what we're gonna see is something similar that we saw in 2022. Okay, this is 2022 right here. Do you see how similar this price action is? So here's January, here's the top. This is early January 2022. And then it rallied after it hit the bottom, like where we are right now. Rallied after it hit the bottom right there. I think we come down and do almost very similar thing that we did back in 2022. We go down, we go down, up, reject, down a little bit, reject, and then we start coming to the bottom. Now this is to me the craziest part, because guys, you do realize the Jackson Hole Symposium is this week. Do you know what that is, Twix?
No.
Okay, so in 2022, this right here was called the most hated rally ever. Like it was in August and July of 2022. Like we were going down, 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 and all of a sudden we had this like crazy little rally. And then all of a sudden Jerome Powell on August whatever, 16th, he spoke at the Jackson Hole Symposium, which happens on Thursday. He's going to be speaking at it. And that killed the rally. And guess what? Just out of coincidence, you know what this orange line is? That's the 200-day moving average, meaning it touched it. Powell spoke, and it went, and we lost it. And guess what? We went down all the way since then. Till October 13th of 2022. That was the bottom of the bear market of 2022. Can anyone guess what this is right here? All this volatility that goes down right here. That was when SVB, the bank, failed. Okay. So I'm telling you, this is this is wild. This is wild. I'm telling you this, when it's at resistance, it's coming down in a hard way. There is no such thing as a no landing or a soft landing anymore. It's not happening. It's not done. I don't care what anybody says. So I'm telling you, this thing could go like this. It could do what I thought it was going to do earlier. I could easily see this thing dropping, picking up, and then dropping even further back down to like maybe the October lows of 2023, or potentially the lows of 2022. That's far fetched, but it can happen. I've seen it. So do you see this V-shaped recovery? That is so that to me that's just is like, dude, they are just bull trapping people, bull trapping, and they're gonna fucking
I
pull
think
the.
we're due for some consolidation.
Wait, what do you think we're gonna just go like this? No, 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 no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might for like a day or two, but
No, I
also
mean, I'm talking like maybe like 4 or 5 months.
no, 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 no. This is gonna
Yeah.
happen. No, you got to remember this. Whatever's gonna happen, it's gonna happen either before or right after the election. So what I'm getting at is it's not gonna if it consolidates, I'll pat you on the back, give you $100. I don't see it. I see very violent moves to the downside and then very violent moves back up to the upside until the election is over.
That's on the record. They'll pay me $100 if it consolidates.
Yeah, no. If it consolidates in this range, like just consolidates, yeah, I'll pay you $100. But if you're wrong, what are you gonna pay me? I'm listening.
I'll get you coffee.
No, you're gonna pay me exactly what I would pay you if I was wrong. That's what you're gonna do. See, you always like to back out of the bets, dude. It's you gotta stop that. But either way, like all I'm saying, guys, is this is it. Like there's really no catalyst to push us above. Nvidia is like in like 2 weeks, but like, dude, I think it's gonna reject this. It might come test here and then do this, but then come down. Like I yeah, yeah. It's gonna be a lot of downside in the next 6 to 12 months. A lot of it. I'm sorry, not downside, volatility. If that makes sense to any of y'all. Okay, no, I have to ask Twix. What has been your biggest challenge trading?
In trading,
Yeah.
um, I think from like a psychology standpoint,
Well,
I
just
think
like
it's
your challenges, like whether it's you losing money or like your mental, like what has been your biggest, like brain fuck, like on trading?
I haven't like found my like my yin and yang yet, like my balance. Like after because I got cooked and I lost like fucking like 2 bands, 2 or 3 bands or whatever.
At least you didn't lose 50.
Yeah, I mean I don't want to lose 50, so I'm good on that. But
The only reason I
fucking
say that is like the services that I provide and a lot of people provide or paper trading, like that shit didn't exist when I got into this. So none of
yeah,
it. So
yeah,
you guys definitely have some sort of advantage. I don't know what to call it exactly, but like, I mean, I assume since you're still in my community that you get something out of it.
for sure. Um
Now
I've just been
I don't know about WOOF. I mean, he's an analyst, but he doesn't ever participate.
like,
I'm not
Sounds like
talking.
you just want me back. It sounds like you just want me back in the server chat.
Well, you wanted to be an analyst. I made you an analyst, but like you don't do anything with it. I'm not gonna take your analyst role away. Like, don't get all pouty on me, dude.
No, like, I'm not getting pouty. I'm just thinking like it's been like you said, a lot of the time you just need to take a step back from trading.
Dude,
Really,
I
like
did last week. I went fishing. I disappeared. I told Twix, I said, don't tell anybody where I'm at.
don't
I'll
tell
tell
anyone, don't
I was
tell
like,
anyone.
I'll tell them myself, but do not fucking tell them that I'm fishing right now. I needed that though. I needed to clear my
Yeah,
fucking head, dude. Like, you can't
yeah.
sit in front of a computer all day. I mean, you can. It's a miserable life. But you just have to take a break. You can't. Yeah. Regardless. All right. So I've heard your cons to it, but what about the pros? Like, so do you guys feel like you benefit? Like, and Woo, I don't know how much this applies to you because you've been since day one, but Twix hasn't. Like, do you feel that being part of like a community of like what I'm trying to do is helpful? Like does it, or or is it just a waste of my time? And I don't. You're not gonna hurt my
Bro,
feelings. So it's
he's
fine.
on mute.
No, I'm not. No, I'm
No.
asking you, Twix.
Oh, I was like, okay. Um, I was so confused. I was like, what? Um, fucking yeah, like helpful to me. Yes, like for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point of what I'm doing. Like, so is it helpful to you to an extent? Like, because I didn't have this. Does it help you become more knowledgeable so you can make better trades on yourself, or does it just help you be a part of a community of people that know somewhat what they're doing? I don't know. I'm asking these questions. Like,
Oh yeah, definitely more of like definitely like helping me make better trades for myself. Like, well, I had when I was learning from that last guy I told you about, and he
yeah,
was
I remember that. Yeah.
yeah he was making me pay him like 75 a week. And he was good. He was a really good trader, and he did really good strategies. I
Dude,
mean, he would
I don't
make
even
bank.
fucking
Yeah,
charge you, dude. I don't even charge you.
yeah, no, but well, hold on. What I'm saying is like, I don't fucking. But it's like he capped his info, bro. Like he wouldn't, like he wasn't elaborating more, and like he wasn't going into like it got to a certain point. It's like, all right, bro. Like I already know this. It's like really basic. It was more of like follow his footsteps. So after like I just kind of like fucked off with that guy. Like I fucking joined.
So you like the way I approach it more so than that guy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because
Definitely
you
like
know that I like give you guys more time than I should sometimes.
yeah,
But I do
yeah,
it because I like to see y'all win.
yeah. Well, I mean, also,
Look, I could close my server down right now and just trade on my own and be fine. But that's not why I do this. I do it because I want to help you guys out, the youth, you know? And I'm very transparent. And if someone's gatekeeping their secrets or whatever, then yeah, so be it. But like I don't gatekeep shit. I'm very transparent on what I'm doing. And
oh,
I built y'all courses. I've done all sorts of shit. But why are you telling me to do this?
sorry, I was on mute for a second.
I know you were. I know. I was like, what are you meaning?
Yeah, if I go on mute, I'm still listening.
So here's how a week's worth of here's how a week's worth of huge economic news will affect the Fed's decision. And this is talking about the fucking symposium in Jackson Hole. 2 years ago, it was one of the most ridiculous like market reactions that we've ever seen. This whole Starbucks thing's kind of crazy too. Uh, Trump, Harris, inflation. I mean, okay. How about this? So, do y'all know what the difference between a soft landing, a no landing, and a hard landing is?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bag Brigade fam, this is the homie Josh that I know very well from San Diego. He lives in North County. I met him when I was out there, and I've been following him ever since. And he does a really good job of explaining things. I watch him every day live, so it's at
I listened to him in the gym.
yeah, it's youtube.com/ the stock market, and his watch list is the trading fraternity. But this is him, and he's gonna make a really good point here. And I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but I'm gonna let it play the good points.
We got quite the week ahead of us with Jerome Powell and Jackson Hole, but leading into all of it, the volatility of last week in August is still on investors' minds, and now there is a huge sentiment shift that is occurring. So I thought we would start off this week by talking about what went down last week, how some of the banks are feeling. This here is Morgan Stanley. We'll talk about what they were saying recently and how things were going down, but I want to talk about this because if you have been watching the watch list, I have showed you this chart in real time, and now you could see a pretty big difference, and this is why we need to talk about how so far here in August, this volatility has pretty much killed the no landing narrative, or at least it's taken us back to a probability of no landing. But you should remember this chart. Remember just a couple of months ago, no landing in green, it was the highest odds it's ever been at. Soft landing here in blue, that started to go down, and we were talking about how just in June, July, the odds of a hard landing, it was the lowest it has been in the last couple of years. You know, leading into this year, the odds of a hard landing, people were really worried about it in early 23, even in the end of 2022. To start this year, there has been a lot of euphoria. So what we noticed in this last week and how everything's played out, even though there was volatility, even though we bounced back up and some banks are feeling good about it, so far, and in the midst of all the carnage, the one thing not walking away, it is the no landing odds. And now the market has lowered that again, and now it's been the highest probability of a hard landing this month since the beginning of the year. So this is based on the fund manager survey. I'm going to go over a couple of things. And like I said, we're going to talk about some of the bigger stuff happening and what we could learn over the last couple weeks, and then how it leads into this next week, because we have Jackson Hole, a couple of things out of the Bank of Japan, a little bit of data, the wrapping up of earnings, and then before you know it, man, this month is over. Then it is the end of summer, and then it's like the home stretch leading into the end of the year. Before you know it, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, baby. So, Chad, we have a lot to go over. I have all of that plays, the info, what I need from you. A thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/the stock market. We will see you there in the morning. And don't forget, today is Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday. And we need your help. This is the random account generator. What we ask on this watch list, you post a random option trade in the comments. Keep it below $100, and we are going to buy it. And honestly, we've had some back-to-back hitters here, so let's go, baby. Keep it up, and thank you, my friend. But now, run it, baby.
Welcome to the couch, it's the 2020 election. Live in the hills, but still get a spread. Started with a live, but it's still reinvesting. Feel how I feel, then it feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but the sound like
the long term, because remember, I was just showing you we got absolutely clapped. There's still more profits to come, and overall, that their overall core belief is that there is a good risk to reward for investing in the long term. So what I want you to see is that after last week, people are feeling optimistic, even though there was volatility. You even heard about the Bank of Japan and the carry trade, hedge funds putting that back on. Overall, people weren't spooked. But now what we really need to talk about is this chart that we started off with, because there was an effect after the last couple weeks. We still don't know where August is going to end up. I still think there's going to be more volatility either towards the end of the month or even between now and the end of the year. I said this on stream on Friday. Don't forget, we are right around the corner to like everything. It's now within 3-4 months. You get election and earnings and rate cuts or not, the pivotal SCP and Fed meeting, and then before you know it, a new president or not. So there's a lot of things that are starting to heat up here. So you're definitely watching impacts happen. And that's what I'm saying. After last week, ironically enough, the worry that has came back on the table, it is the U.S. recession and people worried about a hard landing. And that is now very weird. And this is why I wanted to show you guys this chart, because this is going back like almost 10 years, a little bit more, and showing you like month by month, if you did a survey, the fund manager survey, and asked these fund managers, you know, what their number one worry was or the biggest tail risk, what they would say. So coming into this month, July and August, what ended up happening and what you'll notice, the current risk people are worried about after these last couple of weeks here, everybody is worried about a recession and kind of the hard landing landing coming out of nowhere. That is how you would categorize this theme. Even though it was part of the yen trade and the carry and all of that, this is what it's getting chalked up to. And what you got to notice is that prior, we weren't always worried about a U.S. recession. The only other thing people were worried about prior to what we just went through, it was geopolitical conflict. Think about all the wars and everything going on. And then the other stuff, the purple bars, and this is what we've been dealing with since April 2021 or leading into 2022, it's been the inflation in a hawkish central bank as Powell and the rest of the world. There would be randomly, you would get geopolitical tensions that would give us these worries in the market. Again, people would freak out about a recession. Again, April, March 2023, banking crisis, credit crunch. That's where these recession bars come from. But up until recently, we weren't worried about a recession. You weren't worried about that hard landing. Again, here's Corona in 2020, and you could go back even China and even all the other stuff throughout the years. It's a very, very fascinating chart. But the point is, this last couple of weeks, it has left a scar, but it could be a temporary one that we've seen several times. Like I was even telling you all last week, it feels like what we went through reminded me of the banking crisis. That gave fund managers in the market worries for a couple of weeks. And then before you know it, we were back to responding to the central banks and then whatever else geopolitical conflicts as they arrive. So I think with the schedule we have moving forward, this is very important. But for now, the no landing narrative, that is off the table. And if data comes out in the next couple of months or whatever happens with the election, we're really going to try to determine what is the number one risk and do any of them come into fruition. So thought I would share that with you. I thought that was very interesting, but there was also some other cool stuff. We do need to talk about what is going to happen this week. I do think there is a decent amount of data, a lot of foreign data and CPIs and GDPs and stuff people will be able to react to. But I think this week is very deceptive because it's going to be smaller data. And you've seen how the market could react. Again, some are low volatility, even as we're, or low volume, even as we're getting this volatility. But we're going to be doing absolutely nothing. And then Friday, you get Jackson Hole, Jerome Powell. That's going to be his big speech. It could even be a dud too because everyone's hyped up for it. He could just come out, say the exact same thing, and then there you go. It goes from event risk to absolutely nothing. And then on top of it, on Friday, we are also getting a special session with Ueda, the Bank of Japan, and they're going to be talking about the rate hikes that they did at the end of July and just really what went down and where they're going moving forward. So really, there'll be data to move to, and maybe we kind of dance around. And again, we either advance or dance on the S&P leading into all of the data, but it's really Friday that we actually get something that could really move us and add to it. Because I was even saying last week, even though Japan and all that was an issue, the yen and bonds have not retraced, and it was very quiet out of Japan last week. So we'll see if we get any volatility there, or maybe if Powell is the one that brings it. But that being said, that's all I'd be watching out for. There's a couple of other things, but I do want you to notice, the effects and kind of some of the baby scarring that we went through last week. And like I showed you some of those other charts and people now worried about recession. This one I thought was very interesting because although people are reacting and getting fearful in a certain way, this is showing you cash levels. So if you went and surveyed all the fund managers, how much cash they're holding, they're not holding that much cash. And if you don't even understand what this is showing you, what I really want you to see is there, just October 2022. Remember, we were stacking cash around there. We bought Meta and a couple of things, but we had a lot of cash. Remember, people were worried after rates and all of that. And then little by little, and then the banking stuff, you saw how the cash markets, and you hear everyone talking about money markets and cash. It's different than overall cash levels that fund managers are holding, but this is word to even the craziness we saw last week. Remember, there's a lot of leverage out there and a lot of people were invested. It's not like the same fear you were going through about a year or two ago, and that's what I think made a lot of these moves a lot different. So that was important. The other one, I thought these were kind of fun to look at here too, even though you had...
Nah, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, dude, Roger, you're out of control right now.
Stop. He's mad I stopped giving him treats.
Dude, he sounds like a human being. I've never
He
heard...
is a human being.
Yeah, but I have dogs and they don't do that.
Dude, he's crazy.
Yeah, apparently. He lives with you, so it makes sense.
He's eat all the time.
Okay, how about this? Fuck it. Tis Talk fam, aka Bag Brigade podcast fam. Thank you for tuning in or whatever. I do want to say one thing. I try not to make this fully about stock market shit. Like, we like to have fun, but today's episode was geared toward it. And I gotta say, in my opinion, I'm not a perma bear, but I do believe that the market is gonna come flushing down. And why do I think that? Well, if you want to know why, tune into the next episode. With that being said, I'm gonna give my piece out, or you can give your piece out first. But I feel like I should go first so you can see what I mean by piece out. So,
Honestly, bye to
listen.
the people.
Well, yeah, but so unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable. I've never heard anything like this. Okay, so here's how I'm gonna do it. Listen, holler at the Tiz for honor, to getting honor, to staying honor. If you can't come in her, come on her.
Come on.
What do you got?
That was perfect.
What do you got?
That was perfect. No, I can't. I would have said the same thing. I would have said the same thing to Bill.
No.
If you can't come in here, come on.
You can't leave without saying something clever.
Oh, fuck. I got nothing crazy to say, but I'll
come on. I know you're smart enough to just come without your dog talking for you. You know you got something. Or just be genuine with it. Just wing it.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to fucking say that hopefully I can stay on for the fucking next fucking episode.
You can come on as many of these episodes as you want, dude. I don't care. I love running these podcasts. This wasn't the most ideal podcast, but I'm gonna post it.
Yeah.
I appreciate you being on the show, but do you have anything to say to the people? You know, to the Bag Brigade or to the Tiz Talk or whatever.
If you're down so much, wait, no, yeah, 99.99% of gamblers quit before their biggest win. People never quit gambling. Never quit.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Never. You should just say like never give up.
Yeah, never give up. There you go. It's not an addiction. It's dedication.
I like that. All right. So, okay. Hey, guess what, Tiz fam and Bag Brigade fam? Look, I made something out of nothing. Thanks for nothing. I don't know.
All right. We calling it there?
Yeah, I guess candy bar Twix over here. So I'm gonna end the show there tonight. Twix, thank you for being on. Whoop, you're an asshole the way you left.
Yeah.
But we still love you. And yeah, like I said, if you can't come in or come on her. So just keep that in mind. And other than that, peace up. Peace out.
Peace up.
No.
Peace up, guys.
Peace out.
Peace up.
Peace out, Cub Scout. I mean, dude, I just like to be stupid and say stupid shit. So it's okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody who is actually going to listen to this or watch this. Thank you so much for tuning in. 20 more coming. I'm glad I had my homie Twix on the show. Whoop has been here since day one, but he was not. It didn't seem like he was really feeling it. And Whoop, I love you, but get a little bit more energy in you, bro. Right?
Like he wasn't meant to hear this.
Other than that, like I said, if you can't come in or come on her, and never quit. Never quit. Ever. Because when you quit, that's when you fail. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. Got anything else? All right, cool. All right, Twix. Adios, amigo. I'm sure I'll be talking to you tomorrow. So, are you on the floor now? Are you on the floor tomorrow? Are you trading? Dude, Roger, dude, you're tripping me out, dude. Like,
Roger's
seriously,
pretty.
like he's almost like, it almost sounds like he's like, why did you want this? He's like talking English, bro. It's crazy. All right, Bad Brigade fam. Thank you for tuning in, Twix, you dog. Thanks for being on the show. Peace out, Bad Brigade. Just remember, just remember, never quit. Never quit.
Yep.
Because that's when you fail. All right, brother. I'm gonna go.
I'll see you later, bro.
I'm sure I'll be talking to you early in the fucking morning.
Yep.
I already know. All right. Well, you have a good. You just, will you handle your dog, please?
What?
Handle your dog, like,
He
handle
handles
him.
himself.
No, he talks like a human. Like, I want chicken.
He's not a dog. He's not a fucking dog. He's a person.
I don't even know what to say to that. But yeah, anyways, all right.
Yeah. All right, bro.
Bada bing, bada boom. All right, talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.